Daily Devotion with Pastor Balla for November 2nd, 2021 from Psalm chapter 90, Remembering God During Our Limited Days. Verse 1, Lord, you have been our dwelling place in all generations. Before the mountains were brought forth, or ever you had formed the earth and the world, from everlasting to everlasting, you are God. The psalmist begins by focusing on God, being eternal, which means never having a beginning and never having an end, while humanity is not eternal. Verse 3, you return man to dust and say, return, O children of man, for 1,000 years in your sight are but as yesterday when it is past, or as a watch in the night. Yes, because God is eternal, our time and God's time are not the same. This verse is actually quoted by Peter in 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 8. But do not overlook this one fact, beloved, that with the Lord 1 day is as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as 1 day. So as the psalmist considers the eternal nature of God versus us as humans, verse 5, you sweep them away as with a flood. They are like a dream, like grass that is renewed in the morning. In the morning it flourishes and is renewed. In the evening it fades and withers. As humans, we don't last as long compared to the eternal nature of God. But however, the psalmist does add this interesting point as a reminder. Verse 7, for we are brought to an end by your anger. By your wrath we are dismayed. You have set our iniquities before you, our secret sins in the light of your presence. The psalmist has in mind Adam and Eve, who were created without sin. But when they sinned, so also death entered the picture. Verse 9, for all our days pass away under your wrath. We bring our years to an end like a sigh. The years of our life are 70, or even by reason of strength 80. Yet their span is but toil and trouble. They are soon gone, and we fly away. Who considers the power of your anger and your wrath according to the fear of you? Sin is what limits us and separates us from God. So as people are consumed with living longer, the psalmist actually is kind of hinting that we should be more concerned with the sin that separates us from God. Verse 12, so teach us to number our days that we may get a heart of wisdom. Return, O Lord, how long? Have pity on your servants. A heart of wisdom trusts in the forgiveness of sins that Jesus Christ provides. Verse 14, satisfy us in the morning with your steadfast love, that we may rejoice and be glad all our days. Make us glad for as many days as you have afflicted us, for as many years as we have seen evil. In heaven, we will finally be in a place without sin and evil, and then we can be satisfied. Only God can bestow this special gift of forgiveness upon us, as the psalmist ends this psalm with that idea. Verse 16, let your work be shown to your servants, and your glorious powers to their children. Let the favor of the Lord our God be upon us, and establish the work of our hands upon us. Yes, establish the work of our hands. God's peace and many blessings be with you. And thank you for listening. And please take an opportunity to share this message with others. If you have enjoyed these daily devotions, please consider making a donation to Peace Lutheran Church, 24024 West Main Street, Plainfield, Illinois, 60544. Thank you again for listening.